So it says I'm live. Wonderful. I'll just get my cards out. I don't know about you. I just got to Thanksgiving. I've feasted the past couple of days, and now I am feeling like there's a lot that we're going to have to get through. And I knew I wanted to do an all sign reading. It's been nagging at me for a while, especially since I haven't had time to record this past month. So anyhow, I thought I'd come on here and share these messages with you tonight and maybe get some advice for myself as well, because there's just so much we have to get done at the end of the year, and there's so much to be involved in. It can be really easy to get blown off course and then find yourself in a couple months like, oh, what just happened? So I'm hoping that this reading will give us good spirits and some sage advice, to keep us through the end of fall and the beginning of winter. So yeah, I will do this in the succession, starting with the sign of Aries and go through the zodiac. So we should be here a little bit. And, if you're watching on catch up, which many people often do, I think we shall have it available where you can click on either there'll be comments. I know sometimes people help me out with that, and I really do appreciate that, because I tell you, I do struggle sometimes to get the timing right set up. And I think I was able to do it in a recent video. But yeah, you can skip ahead, but it's also nice to think about different signs and how they impact you, and just check in with the energies as they most resonate for you. It doesn't have to, not all messages are going to be invalid because they're not, for whatever sign you are, obviously. It's a little bit more complex than that, and a little bit more simple. All right, so Aries, I think with this reading, I'm just going to pull 3 cards. Okay. I think right now we're looking at past, present, and future here. Okay. Just what's led to this point, where you're at, and where you want to go. Past is coming in as the Knight of Swords. So a lot of planning, a lot of thinking led to this. The present is the Fool card, which means maybe being a bit lost and not sure where you're at, not sure what to expect, unforeseen circumstance. In the future card, we have the Hanged Man. So maybe you've overthinking. Yeah, maybe you've got a problem with overthinking, or maybe it's just that you planned too much and now you've missed your opportunity and now you're going to have to sit back. Or, having to plan for situations that are beyond your particular circumstance. Planning for things that you don't plan. Planning for the unplanned, Aries. That is a message for you here. You have to plan for things that are unexpected. What do you do when you can't do things at your normal level? What do you do when you get pulled back? How do you manage those times when you're not in control? Because there are times and circumstances that are beyond your control, beyond all of our control. What are you going to do when you aren't in the driver's seat? You have to basically, I think, expect the unexpected and know that things aren't in your control. Oftentimes, this time of year is about others, isn't it? It's not about us. Sometimes what we plan isn't even, it has to give way to other people and what they want, even though that doesn't feel safe, even though that doesn't feel familiar. It is what needs to happen, and you're going to have to be comfortable with the timing just not being in your favor. You can't plan for the unexpected, okay? So I think this is just a message for you to be comfortable with the fact that things aren't always in your control and you can't make everything happen for everyone else. All right, so let's move on. That was for the sign of Aries. Now we're at the sign of Taurus. Okay, Taurus. Okay. And it's good energy there. Good for you. Kind of your vibe. Okay, present. Okay, man, a lot of messages are flooding through actually now, to be honest. Whole lot of messages. Okay. We'll take those. They both fell out together. Felt right. Okay. Taurus, the past here, you're coming in as the King of Pentacles, which is just financial abundance, security, and not just physical security, but emotional security. Very strong place to be coming from, a deep inner security that can't be shaken by the world around you. But in this present time, there's the Seven of Swords energy, which is highly troubling to you. I feel like maybe it's that you feel either that something's missing. You're looking back almost with this. You're looking at like, well, yeah, I've got all this going for me, but what about that back there? What about that thing I put on the back burner? Or what about that thing that I didn't get? What about that thing that's still undone? It feels pretty severe, either that or like you feel like you've gotten away with something or somebody else has. So there's this reflective energy that you're standing in the present. And I think maybe it's that it's causing you to be a little bit cautious, you know, kind of like how before an animal really understands or is comfortable in its environment, or if something upsets its environment, it kind of hides almost. I get that right now for you, that maybe you're in a period of just hiding yourself away a little bit and just kind of being careful too. Future comes up as the Five of Swords, which is telling me that you can't avoid conflict, and the Four of Swords. So maybe this is like you actually you're being called to process some things that haven't been completed. You're being called back to something really strongly, and your soul is not going to be at rest until it's finished. So if this season, you may be healing too. I think for many of you, this might be, you've been through something. And now you actually may find yourself falling into a period of rest and actually not being outwardly focused. Even though you're being called, you're like, I gotta go here. This is where my responsibilities lie. So I get a quiet time for you. Take time to rest and take time for yourself, because um, you may find yourself just at odds and you having conflict about what is important, and you have to be kind of so deeply in your own energy and so in charge of your own world and your own life that you know what that is. Well, what messages, huh? What messages we have? Well, wondered if you can see my kitty on the blanket over there. Oh well. If he makes an appearance, he makes an appearance. If not, if not. So now we're calling in Gemini. Okay. One more card at least for Gemini. There we go. Okay. Current or past to now energy is the Five of Pentacles, which I get as a sense of feeling lost. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, alone. The present energy is figuring out the balance, how to get some semblance of footing back after kind of standing at this tipping point for so long. Now you're finding, okay, if I'm ever going to get my footing again, I need to put my both feet on solid ground. I can't be standing on this one-sided teeter-totter. And that's what it is about now, finding other places to set yourself. You do one thing too much and you overdo it to the neglect of all the other places that you can be actually planted. Oh, hello, Keith, who's watching live. Thank you for being here. It's important for you to start dipping your toes into new soil, as it were, finding new things to do, finding new hobbies perhaps, or finding new spaces, new people even. This is serious, and I see with the future energy coming in, a real fire having to be lit under you. You get this feeling of being kind of pushed into this. You have to. It's not an option anymore. You can't continue to live in this energy here. And so this present moment is an opportunity, with everything that is going on, to get involved with something outside of yourself, with something that's going to grow your world, looking for those new people and places and opportunities that are available in this world and available to you. So, I don't know if I have more from that. I think this is a time which is telling you, like, there's opportunity and you need to, like, go get it. You need to take advantage of the opportunities that are out there for you. And you can't continue to live so precariously, so outside of things. That's an illusion. You're not an outsider. Okay, you're a part of your community. You just have to figure out how to put yourself better in it. And it's down to your passion too. I'll say that, like with the Ace of Wands there. That's about things that actually inspire you. What is inspiring to you? And like, how can you be there and be part of it? So we're moving on. We're at the sign of Cancer. Oh, Cancer in the holidays. Wonderful. Love Cancer energy in the holidays spirit. Okay. All right, just another little message for Cancer. Having trouble getting them out here. Okay, well that flipped there, so we'll take that. Okay. Past energy for Cancer is the Eight of Pentacles. Your never-ending lifestyle. The never-ending grind is bringing you to this point of Queen of Wands, which is, I think, you want to actually kind of be partying. You want to have a good time. Let yourself go a little bit this time. This would be a good opportunity for you to have some fun. Maybe as a hostess. I mean, your home is your castle. The Cancerian energy is, such a homebody, really having a home that you're proud of, that you can share with others, and having things to share with others. I mean, what do you work for, really? So that you can have the kind of life you want. You can have the kind of people you want in it. And so I think now is a good time to celebrate. You do well to be creative in this time. Future card is also the King of Wands. So you have, I guess you're being called to like heat yourself up a little bit. All that fire, King and Queen together here. So, good time to connect with people that are at your level, people that see you for who you are and who have been there for you, people that, also for fun, look for people that are at your level, whatever that means at whatever time, and that you can connect and have fun with, and that it will be just enlivening. You deserve to have some play after all the work, and this is calling you to take advantage of the fun that is available in this world. And hello, thank you for being here. Thank you for the hearts. So yeah, we are at the sign of Cancer. As I said, you need to have some fun. Have some fun in your own home. Dress up. Any party where you have to dress up. So I'm thinking of like, events, or perhaps even like a fancy dress party for New Year's Eve, where you're expected to dress up as something. I mean, I think you should take advantage of all that you have and use your imagination in this time, and try to be lively and try to get others involved. Try to plan with others too. There's a sense of union here that is really beautiful. I think it's also about like maybe events where everybody brings something, the old potluck you know, eating together, playing together, being together. All right, we're going to move on into the sign of Leo. Sign of Leo. How's everyone in the audience doing? Have you had a good holiday so far? I don't know where you're at or what you celebrate. We're in the US here, so we had Thanksgiving yesterday. And it's a holiday weekend, so I have a little more time to get on here and, be in the spirit of doing these readings for you. So yeah, love to hear about what others have done or are doing. If they have any plans for the holidays, any way they're going to celebrate and enjoy the opportunity to connect with others at this time. Okay, so Leo. Ooh, interesting. How romantic. Okay, Leo, we have the Wheel of Fortune as your past energy. Quite quite an image, quite trippy, isn't it? You feeling hypnotized? Oh, I just thought of that song, Blinded by the Lights, or Blinded by the Light. It's old classic rock. I don't know who that artist is that does the song. If anyone does know, they can say it. I'd love to know. But yeah, I get that sense from you that you've been a bit, kind of under some kind of spell almost, or that's what it feels like, feeling kind of feeling, well, I mean, that's past energy, and maybe you weren't seeing things clearly, or maybe it's just that things come to an end and we don't understand exactly how we made whatever choices we made to get to that point, or something changes in our life and now we're kind of left trying to figure out what we're going to do. It's interesting that that's the past, because the present card is the Tower, so that's double intense energy for you, the Tower. Present energy now for the Tower, I mean, things are falling apart in some ways. Things are being taken down. Things are so again, it's back to that sense, and Aries was dealing with this as well, that sense of being out of control. What is out of my control? How do you contend with things in life that are not in your control, and what is in your control? I think maybe this is a time for you too, Leo, of figuring out like who is really on your side, who really wants the best for you, who really cares for you, and who doesn't. And what that means is like when things, I think that, the thing about that dramatic Leo energy is that it's hard for a lot of people to contend with, because they don't know, a lot of people don't have the fortitude to deal with what that takes out of a person. And for you, it's just who you are. But for others, many they'd find it difficult to deal with it on top of their own personal drama. So, I mean, right now it's just an opportunity for you, I think, to deepen the real connections in your life. And that's what's being called in the future. I would say keep things small this year. If you can, try to keep things one-on-one. Privileged people, okay? People who can be like this with you, gentle like bunnies. I hope it doesn't mean frisky like bunnies, but the Two of Cups would indicate some of that. Like maybe, maybe there's someone special to you, and you know, whatever that means. I mean, being special to someone can mean a lot of different things, but I think, who are you special to and who is special to you, and what about everything else? You know, regardless of where everything else is at, that right now for you is what you need. You need people who genuinely care for you right now, and people who are as excited to see you as you are to see them. You know, it's just, but also I get with a sense too, people who are going to have boundaries with you, you know, people who aren't going to overstep the mark too, people who are going to stay in their lane or not push things too far too quickly. You know, maybe it would do you good at this time to connect with people who are timid or who you think are timid. And maybe if you like bring yourself to kind of meet them eye to eye, you may find that you've misjudged. You know, I think that too, like, how can you meet people eye to eye, mind to mind, nose to nose? How do you do that? That's a gift, and that's something that that's how you need to judge the choices you make at this time from now until the end of the year, basically. All right, so we're moving on. We're going to Virgo now. Good old Virgo. Virgo. And Virgo is always prompt and like, yeah. We just need one more card. One more card for Virgo. I see. Oh, September 2nd. Lovely. You came just in time. Okay. The Two of Swords is your past energy. Which is, to me, indicating some sort of, a truce. Peace offering. Or choosing peace, choosing not to do battle at this time, leading up to this point, you've been kind of being careful about what you say and what you think, and what you think about what other people say, and what you think about what other people think. And yet it's like there's like almost this sense of discovering the beauty in this. Like, you don't have to challenge everything that you think is wrong, because is it actually, or is it an opinion? Is it a thought or an opinion? And it's the consideration and understanding that you sharpen your sword best not by whacking other people with it, but by gently hearing and slowly, gracefully wielding and listening. It helps you understand why you think what you think in the first place, and that it is possible and is very important to have peace for your own sense of well-being. Present card is Strength, which is, I think what I'm talking about here shows a tremendous amount of personal strength. But this is about taming yourself, really having that self-control, being able to really have things in right order, meaning your mind is over your matter. You know, your mind, your logic rules over your anger, over your emotions, over everything else. You have the power to control what you say and what you do. You're in control of your beast. And I think for now, I mean, what's being suggested, I mean, going to the future here is the Three of Wands, which is to consider what your horizons actually are, what your options are. You could go off in one direction or the other, but sometimes you need to think, because maybe there's other opportunities you haven't actually considered. And when the thing is, when our sword is drawn sharply in the past here, as we talk about, when we're so certain that what we think is right, what we believe is right, we often don't see beyond that, and then we miss out on how big the world actually is and what we could actually do and be and have in it. So, you know, like, don't think big is, I think, what's suggested here. Like, do some things and open yourself up to situations which you maybe wouldn't have considered before, like celebrations you wouldn't have considered before, people you wouldn't have considered doing whatever with before, because it's available to you. And you know, you don't have to do the same things all the time. Things can be very different. And considering that, like, things don't have to be done this way just because they've always been done this way. And there are many ways to do the same task too. I mean, maybe that's part of what it's about, like understanding that, yes, you've developed this rigorous system, but did you know that there may be things that you don't even comprehend that could make it so much better? Anyway, let's move on. Thank you, Virgo. Libra. Wonder what messages will come up for Libra. Okay, this one's out. Peace and Love says, I want to be a king like my father. Well, that is a troubling message, isn't it? Because that's something that you'll inherit, isn't it? I don't know if your father is still alive, but be careful about that, because you will only ever be a prince while your father is alive, if it is his kingdom that you're wishing to inherit. Just say that. That title, be careful. That is a lifetime in the making. So, Libra, look at you. Oh, look at you. Thoughts and feelings. Oh, dear. Past energy is the Four of Cups. Contemplating what's available. And maybe not taking advantage of opportunities, and maybe, you know, I get a sense of like a missed opportunity or something like that, or feeling like left out about something that you could have done, or something that you didn't take advantage of. Present energy is the Ten of Swords, which is very heavy. Yeah, you're very deep in thought right now. You're very much having to do a lot of thinking. This energy of I don't know if it's opportunity or if it's connection or if it's, but it's, it's a cup. It's about fulfillment. It's about having water to drink. It's about emotional fulfillment and what's going to give you that. So present energy with the Ten of Swords, it's like you're you're thinking in typical Libra fashion, right? You're thinking a lot about what you feel, and that thinking is so intense at this time. And interestingly enough, you're being called backwards to the future. So, Six of Cups, and applying this to a holiday spirit here, you're going to have to take time to think through everything you need to think through. Thinking about whatever this cup is before you, whatever this thing is you're contemplating. What are your deepest wants and desires for your life? Okay. And does this cup somehow here that you're contemplating, does this thing that is before you that is causing you all this deep thought, like, does it align with what you really want to feel? Okay, that's the thing. Like, going back to the like heart and center of who you are as a person, what do you want to feel? You're thinking about like the thing, all this chatter in your mind, and you need to think about, what feeling do I want inside? What does this thing, it's triggering all this thought because there's something here that is longed for from youth. Okay. And to, interpret this another way too, I think in terms of how you go about your holidays, I think it's important to, try to capture some of that youthful spirit that's available at this time. Maybe, getting festive in some ways, doing rituals because that's what we do as human beings. Throwing yourself into that, finding meaning in that, trying to, it's not just, because it's not just about for you personally, although there is a sense of that coming to you now. And, I think too, like, cardinal sign like Libra, with the amount of responsibilities on your plate at this time. Okay, just thinking about that, like, don't forget to go into and uncover the sense of feeling that you want to capture. Like, what did it feel like? What are those like magical moments you can draw on from the past as a child or as a youth, or just not even that? Maybe it was a couple years ago, but how did things go and how did it feel? And how does that get captured in what you're doing now? Do you feel that you are in that spirit when you do these things? How can you summon that? Don't be so troubled about all of the things that are on your plate, but think about getting into the feelings more, because that's how you're going to flow better. I mean, you're stuck. There's this emotional stuckness, and I think this time is about kind of getting to the heart of things, going back to the how one wants to feel and trying to bring that out by your actions. Okay. Oof, heavy. Okay, let's move on. Ugh, Libra. Ugh. Okay, let's move on to Scorpio. Okay. Oh, Scorpio. Oh, goodness. Okay. Card that came up for Gemini is here with you as well. So just having a little giggle about that. Woohoo, baby, ouch. Okay, Scorpio. Who thought this would be easy? Emperor, the past, okay? You have your own realm, you have your own space, you have your own kingdom, as it were. You have your own thing going on, the thing that you feel in control of, the thing that you possess, the thing that you manage. Feeling like you have the control in the past. Present energy is the Ace of Wands. You're being warned here. And anyway, I'll say this with Scorpio. However this resonates for you, how this energy shows up for you. But present energy is the Ace of Wands. The promise of fun can lead to a world of hurt. Okay, we have the Devil card here. Now, what is the Devil? How do we interpret it here? That is the future card. You know, in one sense, I would say you just need to be sensible this year, okay? And you need to not get caught up in too much excitement with the choices you make, because you're being called to be kind of austere at this time, and actually maybe a bit not every opportunity needs to be taken, is what I'm going to say here. Like, it might do you well to sit back on some things. Even though things sound exciting, there are traps. And you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're going to compromise the security that you've built up. Okay, this is, you know, a very deep sense of security you have in yourself and in the world. You know, you worked hard for it. It's yours. You hold on to it very tightly. It's precious to you. And there are opportunities available at this time that are going to drain your money, you know, what you built, drain your energy, or leave you stuck with responsibilities that you don't want or need. So beware of fun at this time, you know, and who you're having fun with as well. Like, and be responsible. Don't overspend. You know, it's saying to like catch on to some spirit, but like beware that you don't put yourself in a situation that is going to compromise everything you've worked so hard for. You know, you've worked hard to become the person that you are. So be careful in situations where you're at, that you don't do or say anything that's going to mess you up. Okay. And that's just, it's just a warning. It's just saying, like, you know, yes, get in the spirit, but beware. Okay. Beware of the fact that, you know, you could fall into a trap. You could fall into a situation that you didn't want to be in, that you didn't need to be in, that you shouldn't be in. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, have fun responsibly. I guess that's a message. Have fun responsibly. Okay. Let's move on. Sagittarius. Oh, we got one card out already. Oh, and that's a Sagittarius card too. Okay. Oh, another card? Okay. Sagittarius. Let's see. Is anyone else having a good Sagittarius season? I tell you, I am. I sure am. So far, so good. One more card at least. Come on. Oh, here we go. Ooh. All right. Okay. Eight of Wands is the past energy, which is very just there's a lot. So you can't do it all, okay? Not being able to like keep everything up is what it looks like to me. You know, you just had too many things going on and you weren't able to do it all. And the present energy is good though, because you know, you're stable, you've got everything you need, you enjoy your life you built. Things are looking good. And actually they're quite luxurious for you. You're comfortable, you know. But there's, you know, there's that past energy of things kind of coming back, maybe. You know, maybe you're getting invitations you can't keep. Maybe or more invitations than you can or obligations than you can actually keep up with, or maybe you had to let some things go, or you thought you were going to do some things, but you couldn't manage it all. But that's okay, because the important thing is that your life is going well. You've got your health, you've got your home, you've got your comforts. And being comfortable and being secure is a good place to be in. And also like being self-sufficient here as well, being kind of capable. There's a lot to that feeling inside of, you know, having it and being rather happy with oneself and rather content with oneself. It's a good place to be. Future card is the Ace of Cups, which is saying to, I think, you know, I know things like were missed, or like that you weren't able to do everything, but there's new things coming. Maybe take some opportunities. Don't be afraid to bring something new into the mix or mix it up a bit. You've had things working pretty good so far, but what it's saying is like, also, I mean, party too, like have some holiday beverages. Yeah, I mean, this might be a nice time to, I don't know, just eat or drink with friends, catch up, share, give gifts, receive gifts too. I think, yeah, that might be fun for you. It might be looking at what you have, what you're sitting on, and what you want to do with it, and how you want to. Also, decoration. I don't know. I see. I see you kind of still kind of hanging back, but like making what you do very beautiful and making it very meaningful. So yeah, I mean, whatever you do, make sure it's meaningful. You know, that's really all you're being asked to do. Is it meaningful to you? Does it fill you up? Does it make you feel good? I don't think there's anything else to add. Have a good time and have a little bit of enjoyment and take things in and allow yourself to give and receive. All right, so we're moving on to Capricorn. Hey. Ooh. All right, interesting. We got the Nine of Pentacles came out again in the same placement. So we'll just take it as it is. The Hermit came up as the past card here for Capricorn. So what have you learned on your spiritual journey? It's significant now because you're also sitting in a position much like Sagittarius where you have a lot to work with and you're pretty self-sufficient, resourceful, and content with a lot of things. So sitting in that, thinking about that, the present moment for you is a reflection, I think, of what you've learned so far and how you've interpreted what you've been learning in life. And it's also a sense of like, all right, so you're sitting here and there's that mirror too, because the Hermit is the number 9 and the Nine of Pentacles are together. And so there's maybe a feeling of isolation, but it's not a bad thing. Maybe it's something that you're actually being called to right now, to maybe pulling back in your own sphere a little bit, to kind of think about everything very deeply. So what I would say is right now, I mean, focusing on yourself for the holiday season. Like, what do you want to do? Maybe thinking about your own home, decorating, putting up lights, rearranging things, having people over. But I see here kind of I don't know, almost like ladies of the olden days having calling hours, and you could show up at their home from this time to this time, and there would be refreshments served and chat for whatever period of time. I see you kind of like being open to that right now. Future card is the King of Swords, which I think for you, it's, I don't know, I get this very strong sense that this is going to be a very practical, pragmatic kind of holiday season. And you kind of need to be responsible, be kind of on top of things as well. And really, I see sorting through. I see, you know what? I see actually you at this time maybe doing a bit of organizing and getting rid of some things, letting things go, maybe giving things away. Also, maybe a sense of giving here too, like getting rid of things and giving things away as a way of celebrating the holidays. Because, you know, we forget about that. You know, sometimes we get so focused on the consumption that we forget that there's other things we can give. Maybe it's time, maybe it's assistance, maybe it's communication, connection, or maybe it's just that we donate. But maybe you're like being called to like remember the spiritual meaning of these holidays more. And you're called to be in that spirit here. And you're called to remember the deeper purpose and meaning behind these things. Like they're not just, I don't want to be cliche, but like, remember the reason for the season, and think about what that actually means. And what you have to offer. And maybe kind of getting people into that spirit, reminding people of that who are lost or, troubled at this time. I mean, people go through so much. I mean, but who are you, Capricorn? You're like the sage on the mountain. People come to you, whether they know it or not, because they need to hear something true. So what is true that you can impart, and how can you be that conscious person at this time? How can you be spiritually conscious and impart that kind of wisdom to folk who are troubled at this time of year? And how can your actions reflect that too? Okay, I guess yours is about what are you giving? Okay, let's move on. Aquarius. Okay. We got Aquarius. Oh, what was that? Oh. Shush. Oh, hi, kitty. I was wondering if you'd come up and say hi. I wondered. You kind of smell like cat food a little bit. Was you eating some cat food? What you doing? Yeah, you missed your reading. It was a while ago. Okay. Wow, Aquarius, damn. Did you just drool on my card? You drooled on my card. Oh my goodness, y'all. He drooled on my cards. Are you drooling on my cards? What's that about? Okay, everyone, quick little break. Aquarius understands. We need a quick little break. Hi, sweetie. Yeah, you can't be drooling on my cards. Them's my cards. You can't drool on them, Mr. Kitty. Okay, y'all. All right. So, Aquarius. Happy holidays. Your past energy is the star energy. I mean, when you care so much, it doesn't feel like you care at all. That's the thing about Aquarius. There is so much care that it can be numbing in these bodies we have. So I just got the Joy to the World song came into my head. Maybe that would give you, some spiritual, again, talking about the spiritual meaning behind the holiday season. Joy to the World. I want you to maybe listen to that. You are you're such a star. You're so bright. And I wonder if you even realize how your brightness impacts others. I mean, when you have so much light, it's impossible not to have shade cast. It will happen. It's natural. It's when the light hits an object, it will cast shade. So coming to now, I feel like you've been giving a lot And you've also been thinking a lot deeply about, well, it's like never ending, you know, all the cares are never ending. So where do you pour your heart? Right now you're in the moon too. So I feel like, you know, the nighttime's not, you're still in the nighttime, you know, Aquarius here looking at this. You're still kind of in that dark part of the journey, and the darkness, at least that we have in the northern hemisphere. Um, I would say, like, you can't travel by moonlight. You have to travel by the stars in some ways. Like, the moon will change, and the light it casts is not, you know, you can't walk by it, but you can direct yourself by the stars. Okay. So this is about direction versus looking at the path in front of you. Okay. And not that you don't want to watch where you step, but there's things in your periphery that can blow you off course because you don't see them clearly and see what they are. You have to travel by the stars. You know, you have to follow the stars in order to get to your destination. The future for you here is the Tower, which is allowing things to come to their natural conclusions. Okay. And the thing is, I just don't think, like, whatever you're going through right now with this moon energy where you're not seeing things clearly, if things aren't right, they're going to come to an end. And, you know, sometimes the holiday season is a really good time to figure that out and to kind of start breaking things down as well. Because, you know, it's following up to the end of the year, things kind of reach a lot of conclusions in the holiday season that otherwise, you know, were maybe dragging. You really can, in some ways, it's almost like a portal, get out of situations or have things come crashing down around you, because this is also a time where people start to scramble in some ways. People's desperations can come out as well. So whatever is coming down in your life, you know, I want you to just remember to go by the stars and not the moon light. Okay. When things are dark, when it is dark out, there's reflections of light. You could travel from the reflections of light, or even though they're further away, the stars will lead you to where you want to go. So are you going to follow the reflection of a star, or are you going to go by a star? Just say that, like, in terms of how you orient yourself, remember that. And you are a star as well. Remembering that too. You cast your own light. What light are you casting in front of you, and what is this artificial light casting? All right, we're moving on. This is the sign of Pisces, and this will be the last reading for the evening, and I will get off of here. Thank you so much for those of you who've watched live, and for those who will watch in perpetuity. Pisces. Oof, oof. I just dropped a bunch of cards, which means nobody's getting picked up. Pisces. There we go. And there's that hangman again. Who got the hangman? Was that Aries? I feel like it was. Yeah, it was. Interesting. So Aries had it, and now Pisces has it too. Okay, we've got our cards. The Six of Swords is your past energy. You may have moved into a new place. You may have moved on from something, but this is a card of travel. It's a card of leaving too, leaving something. Pardon me. So whatever you've left in the past, it has you in this position now of the hangman. It's like maybe you expected that things would pick up and you're finding that you're still stuck. Honestly, wherever you go, there you are. So you can leave a situation, a place, a city, a person, but you're still going to be stuck with yourself. And if you aren't able to make moves yourself, you know, you have to understand that whatever you thought was the blockage wasn't. The blockage was always you. And right now, I think you're about in a time of figuring that out, or maybe being held back from, or maybe it's just, you know, you could get sick. Maybe this is a time where, you know, maybe there's some things going on that require you to not be as involved in whatever the hell else is going on that other people would like you to be involved in. You know, say that as well. Maybe there's people who feel entitled to you at this time, and maybe, you know, you can't. You're really actually in a time where you're just like, actually, you know what, I can't. And future energy is the Nine of Swords. So I don't know, Pisces, this might be a difficult time for you, honestly. Like the holidays may, I don't know if you're I know many people get depression or different issues during this time of year. I feel like, you know, you need to process whatever this was, whatever the thing this move was, this big change in your life. You may find like that you can't go out and be a part of or do whatever because you're still grieving, or you haven't completely worked through. So things that seem fun or alluring or that other people are involved in, it's like you don't have the energy. I find like, you know, what I would say is like, there's going to be so many things that you can do, okay, that you could possibly do, but actually it might be better for you at this time to just hang back and wait, or like pick what you're going to do very carefully, because you may not have it in you. You just may not have it in you, or you just may not have the ability to. And some things are beyond our control. That's the thing with the hangman. Sometimes life leaves us dangling and we don't know what to do with ourselves, or it doesn't matter what moves we make. Things aren't aren't going to happen. I think for you, you know, this is going to be a hard time for you not to worry. I would stress though that you really can't worry. You kind of just have to, in these time periods of the hangman, kind of, I mean, that's about enlightenment. The hangman is where we achieve enlightenment. And it's that, you know, knowing that we make ourselves suffer more than anything else. It is our own wishes, desires that cause the most suffering in our lives. And sometimes when you don't get what you want, or things aren't happening the way you would want them to, it actually gives you an opportunity to get everything else in order. Okay, like maybe you're not meant to be doing this just yet. Maybe all this needs to be taken care of. This isn't very exciting message. I'm sorry, Pisces. But what I get from you, I mean, what I would say to you is be comfortable with the fact that like maybe what you want to happen isn't going to happen. And be comfortable with I think I would say like letting some stuff go, letting go of some things right now. You know, maybe you're being held back because there's too much on your plate and really you kind of have to figure out, you know, you can't do it all. I know you have big dreams, but like you got to be practical in life and you have to do one thing at a time. And is it really practical for you to do this and this and this? And it's like if you do them all, right? If you really attempt to do them all, they all suffer. So it's like one thing at a time, Pisces. One thing at a time. You got to slowly work your way up. You want to like climb up that mountain. It's 1 foot at a time, you know. And you're fish too, you know. You want to swim around in those waters, but you know, right now, it's just saying like, you know, your thoughts are they're good. All of your ideas are good, but like if something isn't happening right now, it's because it's not supposed to, and you need to focus your energy elsewhere. You can't keep like batting your head against something that isn't going to happen right now. You have to go with, okay, that's not going to happen right now. I'll do this. I'll do this instead. What about this? You know, keep it moving. Okay. You've got a lot of ideas. So, you know, take the opportunities you can, run with them, and like try to not worry about what you can't do. Anyway, how does this apply to the holidays? I don't know. But yeah, I mean, you have a lot of ideas, but you can't do it all. So be comfortable with, you know, not being involved in everything as best you can. All right. Well, so those were the readings. Thank you so much for being here and for watching on Catch Up. If you are, please like the video if the messages resonate, and subscribe if you're new. Check out the description box if you want to get a personal reading from me. And I will be with you all again very soon. Goodbye and happy holiday season.